It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, produced by Eswatini TV. I'm Sanipo Ngongwane. I'm with Zamanza. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Mbabane. For your top stories at 8, let's dive straight into it and get a sense of what's ahead today. The Prime Minister says the private-public sector partnerships are key to the country's economic recovery. Residents from Maiwane constituency will now have access to clean water, especially those around Moyeni, Mangeng and Masheleleni, following the launch of the 4.5 million Emalangeni water project by the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku. And the House of Assembly is calling for an investigative audit into the management of public funds at the University of Eswatini. Hello again, and now for the news in detail. The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says the private-public sector partnership is a key to the country's economic recovery. The Prime Minister has been speaking during a tour of the key post-COVID-19 economic recovery plan investment projects situated in Matapa Industrial Site. Eswatini TV Samkal Suakoza has more on that story.
Members of both houses of the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade Mancoba Khumalo, and the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority, led by the Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini, toured projects worth combined 850 million emalangeni under the post-COVID-19 economic recovery plan. The projects are the Eswatini Oil Mill Expansion Project, Conco Limited Warehouse Expansion, and the Matapa Lifestyle Center. Addressing the tour, the Prime Minister said, seeing the number of projects being implemented all around the country bears testimony to the positive economic growth.
The combined projects, I'm told, are worth 850 million and have created about 890 jobs. The expected number of permanent jobs that will be created after the implementation is 900. That's direct jobs. With the project visited today, it is clear that Eswatini continues to be preferred investment destination in Southern Africa. Of the 850 million investment, 100 million is a new investment and more than 750 is business expansion.
Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority CEO Sibani Mgomezulu said these projects are key to the country's economic recovery plan.
As we aggressively market investment and trade opportunities to domestic investors, Your Excellency, we see that Eswatini are growing their entrepreneurial traits. We are seeing Eswatini wanting to venture into new sectors and to take up and assume business risks, which is another encouraging sign for us.
The Prime Minister also asked for the continued private sector partnerships. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, Matapa.
The House of Assembly is calling for an investigative audit into the management of public funds at the University of Eswatini. This has been said in Parliament on Thursday.
When the House of Assembly convened for parliamentary work on Thursday, Enzingeni Member of Parliament Lutfo Dlamini moved a motion without notice requesting the Minister for Finance Neil Rickenback to institute an audit investigation into the management of public funds at the University of Eswatini, where he was seconded by the Gilgal Member of Parliament Sandla Fagutse on the motion.
You will assume the responsibility lathunyona ukuthi aseke ubukwa ukuthi la kufakwa imali emaswati khona kepha kungatholakala ama-audited statements kepha onke lamalanga sebatelekile sebobani labathola le mali because clearly lama-students akayitholi nalaba labafundisako bakhala nalabo labasebenza kepha laba labaphethe bona ukako bakhanze beme lapha kusho ukuthi kukhona lokuntunga santungwane. Leya university for years iyabanjwa iphezulu en kulamaswati laqashwelayo but ayiyile ka revenue ngoba sekude le mali. Now uliphi live ngiphi institution lenemandla la kangwane ekubamba umthelo wemuntu kepha angawusubmit le
nangabe ke sitawuthula kugelekatika lapha kusho ukuthi simendela phansi umnikati welive lo ngiyana angichancellor wale university masitawuthula siyiparliament kubonakala ukuthi akuhambi kahle lapha.
Members of the Honorable House then debated the motion.
The University of Eswatini has degenerated to levels below average. I-university say insolvent, lapho seyikhona khona. Seyiphila ngemthonselana lewuthola kuhulumende.
Speaker, uma kude i-retex le letawubulala lawa magundwane lalapha. Noma uhulumende angafaka malini la angayifaka lapha. Bangakafi labo losilina ngeke le university ichubeke.
Le institution siyayidzinga silive and the institution ibalulekile eMaswatini. Yakha sithombe lesihle nayisebenta kahle.
The House of Assembly then passed the motion, and the Minister of Finance, Neil Rickenback, is to table a report before the House within 30 days. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
Residents from Mayiwane constituency will now have access to clean water, especially those around Moyeni, Mangeng and Masheleleni, following the launch of the 4.5 million Malangeni water project by the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku. The project was supported by the government of India, Brazil and South Africa.
The people of Mayiwane can't hold back their gratitude towards the help they have received concerning the water project, following that they have been in dire need of water for ages. Most importantly, the water is issued through the solar system, which cuts down the electricity cost. Over 1,556 people will benefit from this project. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku said that clean water promotes healthy living and economic benefits in the nation.
This will go a long way in contributing to improved health, well-being, reducing poverty, and contributing towards COVID-19 responses. Without access to clean water, human health is affected and diseases become a burden, affecting income generation, capacity, and pushing vulnerable communities into poverty.
Mayiwane Indvuna Nkundla Majonge Dlamini is very thankful for the water project in the area.
Kulandzela ukuthi namuhla sikulomsebenzi omkhulu kangaka ngalawo magama minister ngithokozile lapho sibuya khona ngoba akhona emagama lekale ngwatholile lekanginika sibindi ukuthi lesive salamayiwane asingalilahli lithemba sitawusitakala cishe songana ngekubambisana netindlunkulu.
The people of Mayiwane are already developing since the water project did not only bring clean water, but they are now able to make backyard gardens due to the availability of water. Reporting for Eswatini TV News is Bongos Makakula at Mayiwane.
The government spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo says that government has not burned the announcement and hosting of other Good Friday services besides the one blessed by their majesties. Nxumalo has been speaking when giving clarity on the matter on Thursday.
Lesithanda ukucondzisa enebekunene kwekuthi yebo kuliqiniso kwekuthi na inkosi seyimemetile kubuswati kubuve kungofusi kukholwa kwekuthi uye lapho inkosi ikhona khona kodwa live litakwati lonke kwekuthi lapha kangwane usho leminye imicimbi yelive ungabekisa ngemicimbi yemhlanga ubekise ngemicimbi yenqala ubekise ngento letinenge akuzange nangalinye langa kuphume simemetelo sekuthi loyile sowonile noma wonke umuntu akabe khona kulowo mcimbi uyatibuta ke umuntu wekuthi noma ngawe uyaliva ligama leliphumako leliyamayama lisho njalo yini nawe journalist worth your salt ungatibuti kwekuthi sekungacala lokulomhlana kwende njani kuceleke kwekuthi sekude phela lo munye lotawuphinze naye aye redweni aye ku TV aye kuphi kupleni ngabazini lesemthethweni ayomemetela lenye inkonzo letabe ichubeka kuletinye tindzawo lokho kuhambisana nje nenhlonipho futhi bekwente kanjalo kuwo onke emalanga iminyaka leminye ledlulile tinkonzo tiyachubeka ngema-Easter abantu bathandazele emasontweni nabo bayatimemetela nesibathi basemasontweni nabo futhi isikhumbule newekuthi labanye baphuma emabhoda bagqobe amapassport bahambe baye esikhwahlandi lapha ema-headquarters emasonto abakhona khona alizange live la kangwane nangalinye ilanga nebekunene libavimbele bantu ukuthi batithandazela abathandazela khona ngema-Easter. Lesi kugcizelelako nalokubekekile kwekuthi seyimemetile phela inkosi. Kungaba kuhle ukuthi siye inkosi yaso la ingakhona ngakhona kuyoyibambisa kuthandaza nekubuka uNkulunkulu.
The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Bulletin, says small and medium enterprises are expected to adhere to global standards when exporting goods. She says this will ensure an export-driven economy. She was speaking at the George Hotel during the validation workshop on the review of the National Regulatory and Quality Policy of 2010.
The Ministry of Commerce had a meeting with stakeholders on the validation workshop to review the National Regulatory Quality Policy. The Undersecretary in the Ministry, Bulletin, says there's a need to review the 2010 policy. She says standards adherence are a must for any business to compete locally, regionally and globally.
This policy aimed at giving direction and guidelines for the establishment of institutions, structures and systems for the preparation, adoption and application of standards, technical regulations, and carry out conformity assessment activities. The government of the Kingdom of Eswatini has successfully established the Regulatory and Quality Infrastructure Department, which is responsible for the development of the quality infrastructure, policy and legal framework, also the National Standards Body.
She says the ministry is committed to ensure an export-driven economy. Reporting, I'm Kian MCB, Manzini.
The Eswatini Construction Industry Council access to credit report conducted by the Construction Industry Council indicates that about 93% of the contractors are unaware of the credit guarantee scheme and need to be sensitized on it in order for contractors to fully utilize the scheme, as it was also observed that about 7% who have borrowed under the scheme. Now, the report was presented on Thursday morning at the Happy Valley Hotel also indicates that some of the challenges faced by contractors on access to credit.
The Construction Industry Council Acting Chief Executive Officer Matlawe Mnisi talks about the need of setting up a construction fund.
We need to have a construction fund in place. That will then enable contractors, consultants, suppliers to access that fund and be able to do work. But of course, for this coming financial year, we will start by doing a feasibility study into that fund to then inform how we will then create that fund.
Construction Industry Council Acting Research and Business Development Manager Nonhlanhla Shongwe present findings of the report on challenges faced by contractors when assessing credit.
There's too much documentation that the banks need. They want this, they want that. Even with us as CIC, as we register them, they say the same thing. Why do you want me to come back with the certificate of incorporation? Because even at the trading license, they want that. So you find that in the different offices, we want the same things, and then the contractor becomes exhausted. They go to the bank, they want the same thing. So, yeah. And then also the security problems, you find that the banks sometimes would say they want as collateral, is where you'd find that the contractor doesn't have the collateral. Maybe they've already got the tender. They've been awarded, you know. Why do we then need collateral as a financial institution? Because the collateral is the project itself, because I'm going to be paid from the project.
Recommendations include that government must set a limit on payment to be done within 30 days. Furthermore, the report recommends that government need to enforce laws that will stop local contractors or project owners from awarding jobs or tenders to foreign companies that local contractors can carry out, and that funding should be made available for renting out machinery for construction projects. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Moses Mkonta Ezulwini.
The new Waterfallcom Club principal, Jackie Utula, says she will ensure that the school continues to produce the best results and provides quality education to every learner. Jackie was speaking during a media briefing on her 100 days in office on Friday.
Speaking during a media briefing about her 100 days in office, the new principal of Waterfallcom Club, Jackie Utula, says she will ensure to maintain that Waterfallcom Club continues producing the best results in the country, both academic and non-academic activities. She says over the years, they have produced the best learners.
I am happy to share that 3 student-led projects from Waterfallcom Club have been successful in their Go Make a Difference applications in 2022-2023. Go Make a Difference is a great scheme available to UWC students to apply for an opportunity to be awarded a grant of up to $1,000 to help them implement a community project.
Anotida Musia, the SRC's representative, says the school has given them all they needed to excel.
Our willingness to push boundaries, challenge assumptions, and to think outside the box.
The Editors Forum chairperson Mbongani Mbingo uploaded the principle for the transparency and forming a partnership with the media.
We're very happy to engage. We're very happy to listen to what needs to be done, to how we can improve, to how we can also give back to the community that we serve. And our role is really just to say, we need to speak more to the people that actually do the work so that we can tell the public what has been done and the public will be better informed.
The school has produced the best in public speaking, sports, and academically. It has over 600 learners this year. Reporting I'm Kian Msibi at the Waterfallcom Club.
The Royal Eswatini Services Police Services Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vlagati has confirmed that a taxman who was shot during the Mbabane Smile supermarket robbery has since succumbed to death while undergoing treatment at hospital. The owner of the supermarket, Dr. Khalid Patel, says the thugs got away with 5,000 to 6,000 malangeni.
Smile Supermarket is found along Betfusile Street inside the Mbabane Town Central Business District. The armed criminals attacked the supermarket on Thursday morning before 7 a.m. The supermarket owner, Dr. Khalid Patel, elaborates.
They just walked in with the guns and they told the till operator that he must go down behind the counter and give all the cash. Around 6,000, between 5 to 6,000, I suppose. We haven't done the cashing up yet, so we don't know yet exactly. They beat both my workers, both of them, they beat him. There were 5. According to the story which I have got, 3 of them were carrying guns.
Royal Eswatini Police Services Chief in Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vilagati pleads for assistance from members of the public.
These people who were attacking fled using a Toyota Corolla Professional silver grey in color. It is registered FST 446CH. We are appealing to the nation to call our 999 or Quadro 9 or 112 in case they have information that can assist us to arrest these people. Or we can call the Regional Crime Branch Officer on 7606-8493.
One of those who witnessed the incident informed Eswatini TV reporters that the taximan got shot while wrestling with one of the criminals. He says while himself and the deceased tried to disarm the criminal, another one shot the taximan on the back and he was rushed to the hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Moses Mkonta Mbabane.
The Minister of Home Affairs wishes to notify the public, the general public, that ordinary 32 pages travel document booklets is depleting as a result of high demand following the removal of travel restrictions. Since then, the ministry has been issuing about 800 travel documents per day, which is above 100% normal average of 300 travel documents per day. Observing the high demand of the 32 pages traveling documents, the ministry placed an order in advance. However, they are facing difficulties with the booklets arriving on time due to supply chain challenges that have occurred from the source. On the other hand, other types of travel documents and passports that are available in stock are as follows. 48 pages will cost you 300 malangeni only. 68 pages will cost you 500 malangeni. Passports, the ordinary international passport, will cost you 300 malangeni only. Service passport will cost you 400 malangeni, and a diplomatic passport will cost you only 600 malangeni. Moving forward in the world of business, more news for you as we take a look at our financial indicators to get a sense of how our markets fared today on a business report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. You're still with the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. We shift gears now. We move into sports news. In our sports roundup, we begin with the boxing national team coach Chicks Lukele, who believes that the work that has been done by the country and the Boxing Association in preparation for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games gives them hope that indeed there will be positive results for the country, especially with boxers like Thabiso Dlamini, who is currently in Russia preparing for the Games.
And in our sports roundup, we begin with the national team coach of boxing, Chicks Lukele, who says the work that has been done by the country at the Boxing Association in preparations for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games give a hope that there is indeed a better result expected for the country, especially with athletes like Thabiso Dlamini currently in Russia preparing for the Games.
Noma ngeke ngisho ukuthi utaba ngakani kodwa nje ngiyathemba ukuthi utaba khona sitawudlala lokusemandleni ethu nalomfana adlale emandleni kusemandleni akhe impela bengingajabula kakhulu ahlale afake imandla ngoba phela siwazendabe siyabonakala yapho yathuthuka.
And in other news, the Eswatini Broadcasting Information Services Director, Sabelo Dlamini, says a fruitful employee is the one that keeps active and exercises regularly. Dlamini highlighted this during the team building and wellness day by the radio station at Prince of Wales in Babane.
Sengumsakazo sikhanze ukuthi kumqoka lokuthi sike sibe nemalanga lana lengathi pheceledi senda khona i-team building exercise. I-team building exercise ke fire cards vele ukuthi sithi vocavoce sishukumisa umtimba ngoba utokwati phela ukuthi sisebenze lesi productive ngilesiphilile.
And in our international news, 57-year French-born coach Hervé Renard is said to be appointed as the new French women national team coach. The former Zambia and Moroccan coach, who was now in charge of the Saudi Arabia national team, will succeed Corinne Diacre, who was sacked a few weeks ago. Renard's main assignment will be this year's Women World Cup. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
With those sports news, we've hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, a quick reminder of news making headlines tonight. The Prime Minister says the private-public sector partnerships are key to the country's economic recovery. Residents from Maiwane constituency will now have access to clean water, especially those around Moyeni, Mangeng and Masheleleni, following the launch of the 4.5 million Emalangeni water project by the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku. And the House of Assembly is calling for an investigative audit into the management of public funds at the University of Eswatini. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
Get to Spa for 3 days of super deals and incredible savings across the store. Like 2-liter liquid fruit for just $34.99 and 4 10-gram cool baked beans in tomato sauce. Buy 2 for only 22 Emalangeni. It's 3 days of incredible savings, only at Spa. Get to Spa for 3 days of